Buenos dias everyone! It is time to finally go on a trip again. So let's pick up our renting car and go to Cornwall.
Yes, that is right. 4 full days in Cornwall, the most southwestern part in England. Days where we will discover the most amazing beaches in the UK, hidden wonders of the world, lovely seaside towns and picturesque fishing villages. But before it is time to do all of this, let's pick up the car.
So that's a good start of our trip. I'm meant to pick up the car now, but I'm in the airport, which is completely deserted as you can see, but the desk is closed. He's on his way, but so far there has been 20 minutes ago and still no one to pick up the car.
1 hour later.
So that has been sorted now. We have our key, we're going to our rental car, and then we're going to go back on the road and explore Cornwall over the next 4 days.
If you would drive from London to Cornwall directly, it is a 5.5 hour drive. To reduce this amount of driving, we have decided to drive in the evening to Torquay, where we'll stay at Heaven House. A great place to stay, and it allows us to take a rest and start tomorrow properly, with some great road tripping ahead of us. And there might be a reason why they call Torquay the English Riviera, or not.
And now we are in Torquay, which is also called the English Riviera, which I assume looks much better when it's not raining and the sun is shining. But the cruise ships are out, and from here we will drive to Penzance in Cornwall, and we'll stop along hopefully some beautiful typical English fisher villages along the way.
The weather got better during the day, allowing us to explore Cockington, 5 miles away from Torquay, a village where everything dates back to at least the 16th century. From Cockington Court, the big manor house, to the church. The park surrounding this big estate is lovely to explore as well. And the weather seems to keep with us in good spirits whilst we drive into Cornwall, entering Padstow, a fishing village on the north coast of Cornwall, a place where we walk around, watch the fishing boats in the harbour, walk to a viewing point 2 minutes walk outside the village, giving us a great view not only over the village but over the whole area, getting us closer to the sea, where there's a beautiful beach to explore. Unfortunately, getting dinner in Padstow isn't easy, but luckily pubs always give us still a great meal when other restaurants are fully booked for the upcoming 4 months.
If restaurants are fully booked, even until August, a pub can always still give you decent and good food here in the UK.
Now it only rests us to drive to Penzance, our main hub for the upcoming 3 days, and where we will explore Cornwall's secrets.
Good morning. We're going to explore today St Ives, but before that we're hopefully going to see a nice secret beach.
Oh man, we just came here to see if we could see the theatre, but the beach itself, don't miss it out because it's beautiful over here. And we had a discussion if we saw some rubbish flying around in the sea, but no, I really think it was a seal that we spotted as well. But definitely don't miss this beach when you're here.
Apparently Porthcurno Beach has won many awards. I can definitely see why. With gorgeous fine soft white sand washed by a sea that turns turquoise in the sun and high cliffs on both sides providing shelter, it's an oasis of stunning natural beauty.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you come here by car, bring some coins with you. Make sure you also have some small change because it was £2.20 to park for 2 hours. But I only had £2.15 or £3. So I put £3 in and you only still get 2 hours, and they don't give you any change.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to see the theatre from here. So if you ever want to visit that yourself, you either need to pay to visit a performance or a ticket just to have a look around. But for now, it is time to visit St Ives and discuss who really owns this town.
There we are in St Ives. And St Ives is great, but it's a place occupied by seagulls, and they conquer this town. They make sure that your ice cream will be eaten, and they're always on the hunt for your food. And a tip, if you come here by car, then my recommendation would be to park a little bit on the longer car park stays up outside the city town center, because I don't understand why they just don't make this a pedestrian zone. It's so relaxed here, it's such a sunny vibe, such a holiday place, and then out of nowhere a car is driving through the place. But let's enjoy the ocean. It seems that St Ives has a little bit of a two-faced characteristic in this town. You have on the one side the typical holiday resort destinations, people sitting down, enjoying the sun, having their ice cream, a lot of seagulls as well in this town. And then just 5 minutes on the other side of the town, there's another beach and people are just surfing, relaxing. A lot of groups here learn how to surf. Pretty cool, and the wave seems pretty good here as well to learn how to surf. But be careful when you visit the beach, because I think it's jellyfish season. I might be mistaken and maybe these are not jellyfish, but I think they are.
Besides its beaches and beautiful fishing town look, St Ives is also known for its art scene and its galleries. That is why some of the houses are a bit more European looking. However, if you really want a good look over St Ives, you have to go to this spot.
Definitely when you're in St Ives, walk up the island to St Nicholas Chapel, because St Nicholas protected from a holy point of view not only the children but also the sailors. And there's no official record when this chapel was built, in 1434, at least before that, but it has been reconstructed several times. But it was not only a holy place, it was also a place where custom officers would overlook the island and searching for smugglers, because you have a great view from here. But also smugglers would come up here to look for custom officers, how they could avoid them. So yeah, two birds with one stone, with a beautiful view over the island and a beautiful place to finish your day in Cornwall. Good morning. We're staying in Penzance, and this place is quite nice and big, as you can see. But I'm quickly going to get ready because we have a coastal walking day today, and we're going to see one thing is, for example, Land's End, but hopefully another hidden gem that I'm very excited to see if we're able to reach that place. So let's have some breakfast, get into the car and go. We arrived in Salmon. We parked our car down in the parking lot at the harbour. We're going to walk to Land's End, having hopefully a nice looking beach that we're going to explore. And if we're very, very lucky, there is an old shipwreck as well that we could see. So apparently here at Sandon Cove, during the Second World War, the Marine was practicing. They did their training here before they went to Europe to fight the Germans. And nowadays, there's even some Dutch blood involved here. Not really happy about it, but we have a Marine as well. And they are still practicing here apparently as well with the UK Marine Corps. So one of the things what I was talking about is this cargo ship from Germany, constructed in 1999, the RMS Mulham. And It was here and it collapsed off the cliffs in 2003, August the 22nd, and was man, I'm just so tired from climbing down. One tip, while this cargo ship collected scraps and stuff and it's all laying down here. Don't do this with children. Be safe. I wouldn't recommend you to come down, but if you do, it's a great adventure, to be fair. When you're finally down, it's even more impressive to see this German cargo ship. And it's only half of it. It's split in half when it wrecked here on the cliffs. You can even go inside, but as I said, take your safety into account. But it's the most impressive thing so far I've seen here in Cornwall. What a beauty. It's a great way to walk from Salmon to Land's End. That's where we are now. £2.50 I think for a small cone of ice cream, so not too bad. And it's called Land's End because the land literally ends here, the most southwestern point in England, not in the UK, but at least from here, if you look on the map, there's at least nothing in front of it anymore till you reach America, at least the Scotland bit where it goes even more west. That's where there's still Northern Ireland in front of it, so literally Land's End. So much more peaceful here, walking to another cave beach thing now, just passing Land's End, and I really don't understand Land's End. It's the most southwestern point in Britain, not the most western point as I said, because that's in Scotland, and then they make it a kind of a tourist trap with a hotel and stuff. But yeah, we're now passing a small farm, seeing some horses, sheep, alpacas, and then hopefully some nice cliff beach thing again later on. But if you want to do this hike yourself, you can park the car at Salmon in the harbour. It costs £6 for a whole day, and then from there it's a 1 mile hike to Land's End, which will take you around 30 minutes, but we're filming and walking down to that ship. Took us around 2 hours I guess, and then from Land's End to Nanjing, the next beach where we're going, that's another half an hour walk, 1.5 miles, and take some food on the way because Land's End is a tourist trap and things are expensive, so better to take some drinks and food with you.
Reference point, jacket potato £7.50.
Ah, so there you go, jacket potatoes £7.50, small pastry £4, small pasty, £4.50.
I don't know how big it's that. I mean, £4.50 seems alright.
Yeah, but it's a small pasty. It was not a large one, they said. But yeah, jacket potatoes, £7.50, which is quite a lot. Dramatic here. And I see some houses just like out of nowhere over there. I think.
Even more dramatic.
If I jump down, that's very dramatic. But it's my birthday, I'm not going to jump down. Well, we didn't make it to the beach. We saw the beach and turned around, but I can't really bring it on camera. But you see a boat there, and I think they're doing kind of a seal watching tour, and there are some things moving around in the ocean. I think after a long discussion together, my girlfriend came to the conclusion that there are dolphins and not seals. So I think we have seen dolphins over there, but there's definitely something in the water. So if you come to Cornwall, even in June, when you had beautiful days, the sunshine and everything, weather can change, clouds can come in, and in the night it can cool down to like 12 degrees and windy, so make sure you always pack a windproof jacket and something warmer underneath. That's always a good tip when you come to Cornwall. And I'm going to get warm, because I'm a bit cold. There we go. A bit cold. And I'm getting warm. Good morning everyone. Our last day in Cornwall, standing in front of St Miguel's Mount. No one here at 6:45 in the morning, and it smells a little bit more fishy here than in other places in Cornwall. But the great thing about St Michael's Mount is that you can walk to the island, but only during low tide, which is at the moment, and I think after 9:30 the water should go over the path, and then you can only reach the island by a boat.
Originally, St Michael's Mount was a Cornish counterpart of the Mont Saint-Michel in Normandy, France, functioning as a monastery and one of the 43 unabridged tidal islands you can walk to in Britain.
It's quite fascinating to see how nature works. Low tide, high tide, places where you can walk to now, places where you can't walk to in a couple of hours. Fascinating thing, nature. So, if you want to visit St Michael's Mount, there's different information that you will find online. Nowadays, you can't visit this area for free anymore. You need to pay for that as well. And if you want to visit this, you can either buy a ticket to the garden for £10 or for the castle for £14, or you buy a combi ticket, which is £24. But the walkway till this point is still free to visit. We just came back 1.5 hours later than we were this morning, and now it's blocked with the water and you can't even stand that long. It's like the high tide is slowly coming in. It's 3 hours away from really high tide, but already I'm standing here for 30 seconds I guess, and the water is now coming in already, and we were just standing there a minute ago, so it can go really fast. I think half an hour later this will be completely covered.
From St Michael's Mount we are driving back to London, but not before we make some stops on the way. The first one is still located in Cornwall, Truro, a cathedral city. Mainly it has a very nice and very typical English town centre, with the shops you would expect in a British village. After this stop it was time to reach Dawlish, a traditional seaside town. Unfortunately its golden sand beach was under construction, but it still gives you a beautiful view of the train passing right next to the coastline. Its city centre itself is a peaceful and relaxed, with a great green park with a lovely stream through it in the middle of the shopping street. And there is Milton Abbas.
Why did we stop here? I have no idea why we stopped here, but at least it's better than a service point I guess, and it's peaceful. But I had to hold my pee for over an hour, so I hope to find a service point soon.
Milton Abbas has a population of 755 people. Was built after the old town was demolished in the 1770s, said to be the largest such project in England at the time. But at least it was a great way to stretch our legs before we finally reached back home again and had a great trip through Cornwall.
What are you doing there, Mr. Seagull? Where are you going, Mr. Seagull? We're going to follow you, Mr. Seagull. Watch out, it's a car park. We're going to Mr. Seagull, where are you going? Bye bye.